So there's a type of education it's in like an ancient blueprint. And I don't know too much about it, but I know one of my best friends, Alan Adkisson, he talks about this all the time, and he runs a Facebook group. It's the Probiotic Farmers Alliance.
Makes the best product in the world.
Yeah, he has a product called Grokashi, and he uses this group as a beta testing group, and as well as a group that is that he's been training the people within it to be critical thinkers.
I'm a member of the Probiotic Farmers Alliance as well.
Yeah, and so am I, and as well as over 30,000 other people around the world, and part of this group is he trains it with this. It's called Trivium Education, and essentially it's an ancient blueprint and a way of essentially getting yourself to use critical thinking. And so one of the things that it does is it uses, it's with grammar, right? So the way people speak, right? And then that's based on your input and knowledge, because, someone speaks Spanish, I may not even understand it. And if I don't see them, it's just a voice. It's like, that's input, knowledge, nothing, and also logic and processing and understanding.
Dissemination.
Yeah, dissemination, a big key. And so essentially this Trivium Education was developed in ancient Greece. And you may have heard of like these two main people that were a part of it, but Plato and Aristotle. Mm-hmm. You see a lot of quotes, and I don't have a quote
They're
of them.
both very famous philosophers.
Yeah. So it's a philosophy. Yeah. And it was systematized in medieval education is what it was, and foundation of classical liberal arts. So all kids learn some form of liberal arts, and who uses it today? Predominantly, it's taught in homeschoolers, classical academics, and some law schools and seminaries. There's also like corporate training programs that do this, and they show decision-making frameworks. And so the key principles are grammar and mastering the facts and language. And then the next one is logic, asking the right questions and identifying a fallacy. And then the third is called rhetoric, and it's expressing knowledge persuasively and ethically. So how you put it out there, make sure that you are doing it in an ethical way, but also persuasively. Essentially, making sure your point is being made.
That's interesting. I try to be less rhetorical when I converse with people. Like I'm trying to like be more straight, but I can see how that could be useful.
Yeah. Why it matters today is it gives people tools to analyze and communicate clearly.
Okay. Which
I think everybody kind of strives for.
I hope.
Yeah, I would. I mean, everybody, since you were a little kid and you wanted an ice cream, you learned to persuade, and, you may have used your crying, which is the emotional, like was said earlier, to get a response, which sometimes works.
Trying to invoke or provoke a response, right?
Based on emotion.
Yeah. Very interesting.
And so why this kind of matters today is it gives people tools to analyze and communicate clearly, and helps inoculate against manipulation, propaganda, and information overwhelm.
Try to give you more skills to pay the bills,
More skill. Yeah. And so how to apply it today: use grammar to research and define terms properly. So, as an adult,
Suggestive versus subjective.
yeah, exactly, same thing.
Okay.
Yeah, you know,
And be open to it, right? Like be like own it. Oh yeah, I did. I guess that was wrong. Like be out there with it. Don't be so like, you know, don't stand on nothing that's wrong, and don't, be open and be vulnerable about stuff like that, because everybody deals with it the same way. Not everyone knows everything the first time. Not everyone says everything the right way every time. Not no one.
yeah, yeah. It's been like a definite learning thing for me, as being a dad, having a young lady for a daughter now. She's 15 years old, and the aspect,
It's crazy.
yeah, of her, she's smart. She's also like does debate, so she has a lot of this stuff. She has, but she also has not. She's only 15.
She just
so
ain't. She just hasn't been around that. Just haven't
Yeah.
been around long enough yet.
Yeah,
Just doesn't have the inputs.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Just
And
hasn't built it yet.
and I'm finding that a lot of the struggles that she goes through, it relates to me, and then I get to implement something and do it with her, which is for her benefit, but also really for mine, because it's something that I lost track of in getting older, and just
Something got lost
getting
in
bad
translation,
habits,
yeah.
or not nurturing the good habits is what it was, and trying to get back to living my life where what I'm doing is nurturing the good habits.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Letting go of some of those bad ones and nurturing the good ones. And so, using this kind of, framework and critical thinking education, and using it in your life, does support in doing the same thing. You know?
And it enables you to be able to be in other types of situations outside of a social setting, like in business or in anything in which you have to deal with people that are, bigger people. I don't know, for lack of a better word, being able to present yourself well, and be able to represent yourself well, be a well-spoken person, to come off as someone who's well thought out and considerate, and all of these things. It's important. So that's the use, right?